Okay, my apologies for the delay, a little confusion here, a little chaos in the house. Let's pick up where we left off here. So anyway, let's remind ourselves what we're doing. We're writing a system of linear equations that represents this situation. X plus y equals 49, x minus 17 equals y, because the number that you sold plus the number that your friend sold equal 49. The number of you sold, because you sold 17 more than your friend, x minus 17 equals y. That's your system of linear equations. Now, how many tickets do each of you sell? How many tickets do each of you sell? Well, first of all, you got to get everything lined up. So to set it up the way that we did consistently in the first part, we have y equals negative x plus 49 because we subtracted x from both sides. Okay, and there was nothing here, so it's negative x plus 49. Y equals x minus 17. We just flip that around, so we subtract to make 0. Negative x minus x equals negative 2x. Now, my apologies for the confusion here. I realize what I did. I put an equal sign there. So when we have a positive 49 minus a negative 17, positive 49 minus a negative 17, that's going to end up being a plus 66. Because if I go into my calculator and I have 49 minus 17 negative, that's going to equal plus 66. So I have negative 2x plus 66 equals 0. Now if I subtract 66 from both sides, that's going to give me 0 here, and 0 minus 66, okay, 0 minus 66 is going to give me a negative 66. So negative 66 equals negative 2x. Well, then if I take negative 66 and divide it by negative 2, I'm going to find that x equals 33, which means you sold 33 coupon books. Okay? So you sold 33. But we also need to figure out how many your friends sold. And we can just do that by going into one of the original equations. And I can just do x minus 17 equals y. Well, if I take x, which is 33, minus 17, I'm going to get 16 when I do that. Okay? So I'm going to find that y equals 16, which means your friend sold 16. And that works because 33 minus 17 is 16. 33 plus 16 is 49. My apologies for the confusion. We have one more to look at, and then we'll get going. All right. Ran out of board space, so we're going to go with this. You can jog around the block 3 times and the park once in 14 minutes. You can jog around the block twice and around the park 4 times in 34 minutes. Okay? So you can jog around the block 3 times and the park once in 14 minutes. You can jog around the block twice and around the park 4 times in, that's supposed to be 36 minutes. My apologies. In 36 minutes. Write a system of linear equations that represents this situation. How long does it take you to jog around the park? Well, okay, so once again, let's read it through one more time. You can jog around the block 3 times and the park once in 14 minutes. You can jog around the block twice and around the park 4 times in 36 minutes. Write a system of linear equations that represents this situation. How long does it take you to jog around the park? Well, first of all, let's establish what x and y is. Let's say that x is how long it takes you to run around the block. Let's say that y is how long it takes you to run around the park. Okay? It says you can jog around the block 3 times and the park once in 14 minutes. That means if I'm going around the block 3 times and the block is X, that's going to be 3X. Around the park once, okay, so that's going to be plus the time it takes to run around the park. That equals 14, okay? So 3 times around the block, that's 3X, plus 1 time around the park, that's Y. That added together equals 14 minutes. You can jog around the block twice, so that's going to be 2X, okay? And around the park 4 times, so that's 4Y in 36 minutes. Okay, well, that's interesting. Write a system of linear equations that represents this situation. How long does it take you to jog around the park? Well, first of all, this is our system of linear equations. Right here, the original equations, that's what I'm going to want you to show. But then we actually need to answer the question. That's where the solving comes in. How long does it take you to jog around the park? Well, we're going to go back here and do this kind of algebraically, okay? So first, I'm going to get everything in slope-intercept form, okay? I'm going to, for Y, I'm going to isolate Y. I'm going to subtract 3X from both sides. That's going to leave me nothing over here. Nothing minus 3X is a negative 3X. And then I'm going to add the 14. So Y equals negative 3X plus 14. I'm going to come over here, same thing. I'm going to have 4Y, okay? I'm going to subtract the 2X from both sides. There's nothing to subtract the 2X from. So it's going to be negative 2X plus 36. I need to divide everything by 4. Okay, so when I divide everything by 4, that's going to give me Y equals, well, negative 2 divided by 4, that's just going to be in simplest form, negative 1/2. So negative 1/2 X plus 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay, so we're going to come over here, and now we're going to set this up. Negative 3X plus 14 equals the negative 1/2 X plus 9. Negative 1/2 X plus 9. Okay? So, negative 3X plus 14 equals negative 1/2 X plus 9. Well, if I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 3X to both sides, okay, that'll work. I come over here and I add 3X. Well, negative 1/2 plus 3X is going to give me 2.5X. Okay, 2.5X. Well, if I then, because I need a 0 on both sides, I'm going to subtract 9 there. That's going to give me 0. Then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to have 14 minus 9. That's going to be 5. And that's going to leave me with 5 equals 2.5X. Well, instead of 2.5X, I'm going to do 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So I'm going to take 5, and I'm going to divide it by 5 over 2. Once again, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I'm going to divide it by 5 over 2. So I'm coming over here. I'm going to clear 5 divided by 5 over 2. That's going to equal 2. So sure enough, X equals 2, which means that it takes 2 minutes to run around the block. Okay? But then I have to take that information and figure out how long it takes to run around the park. Well, if X is 2, if I go to this first equation, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay? So 6 plus Y equals 14. Well, sure enough, then if I just do some mental math, if I subtract 6 from this side, that's going to give me 0. and then I subtract 6 from 14, well, that's going to give me 8. That's going to leave me with y equals 8, which tells me that it takes 8 minutes to run around the park. And that seems to work because 3 times 2 is 6 if x equals 2, plus 8 equals 14. And if x is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. If y is 8, 4 times 8 is 32. And 4 plus 32 is indeed 36. All right? Talk to you later, 8th grade.